Dignitas's loss earlier on today, G2 now remain as the only undefeated team in the RLCS. And they do take on Ghost Gaming in their matchup today to remain undefeated. Achieves, Gibbs has got Ghost taking this one. Where do you stand?
I can understand why he says Ghost Gaming in a closed series, right? Because G2 haven't been tested, right? They've played the bottom of the league. But at the same time, Jorby is absolutely right. Their midfield is really good. They have great pressure. Their ability of controlling zones, forcing people to give them space and get the offense going for them is going to be a tough thing for Ghost to handle. So I got G2. I think they have the better offense because they have some of the most productive people in the league right now. But I think Ghost Gaming is an excellent test to see if they really hold up and can continue that reputation.
And G2, there was a lot of questions coming in about them coming into this season, but it almost feels like Season 8 didn't even happen. Like it was a blip on the radar, we don't care anymore, and they've returned, and they look like that team that made it to the World Championship Finals back in Season 7. It feels like there was like maybe a month period there that they just doesn't exist for them anymore.
They totally just forgot about it. They're like, so you know that time where we were like dangerously close to being relegated? Forget that time. We're going to come out here and we're going to dust people. And it's all Chicago and JNAPS getting the offense rolling. And Rizzo's been a great support guy. So if Ghost wants to take him down, I think Mist is actually going to be the key player as sort of that in between, because they have Illusion on the back, Atomic in the front generally. I think how well can Mist handle the gaps is going to be the difference maker for Ghost.
We are in here now at game number 1. G2 earlier on today for a win through Sonics, able to confirm their playoff spots, but Ghost Gaming trying to chase down their own, and it's going to be a fantastic start. Mist puts them one up.
Banger of a shot. Rizzo can't really get one cleanly into the middle because Atomic just goes right for it. And Chicago, as he's jumping off the backboard, doesn't have any boost, so he can't actually track the ball down and get to it in time before Mist turns around. So heads up play from Atomic. Put one out there for Mist, and he went and got it.
Ghost Gaming. Fantastic start for them. They look to continue it. Almost too well played there from Atomic. Straight down before anyone could even get around from them. Could be left. Rizzo straight up to the other side of the field, but nobody around. He's going to try and chase this up himself. For Ghost Gaming, this has been a team that we've been looking to click throughout this season, and they've slowly been doing so. And his teammate both going to go at the same time, giving free possession of the ball over to G2. And Rizzo's already downfield. Looks at the setup, but missed. Already up on the backboard. He's not going to be caught out by that one at all. Just a minute played now. Ghost Gaming still looking comfortable here. They don't seem to be intimidated by the offense. In fact, G2 haven't even had a chance to get any going.
And those big backboard clears are a big part of that. It's a very important part of that G2 offensive arsenal in terms of creating pressure, and if they're able to keep finding big clears off that, G2 are going to have to find something else to work with.
Chicago. That one come down, but it's going to be Rizzo. Lovely little tap up. He can now continue to play the ball. Seeing a lot of very strange double commits from both these teams. Just players completely off the screen, diving straight in when they don't really need to. Chicago wins the challenge once again. G2. They're doing a decent enough job of keeping the ball away from Ghost Gaming, but they haven't created a single solid opportunity for themselves, and we're almost 2 minutes into this game. Can JNOX do it? Might get it past the defender as Ghost Gaming winning all the challenges.
You can see Atomic shade into the middle there because they knew that G2 likes to get that ball popped straight up while they're right at the corner. Generally, you see Rizzo tip that ball into the middle for Chicago or JNAPS, and Atomic immediately went to go cover that option.
Chicago straight across the face of the goal. G2 still probing. Unable to find any answers so far. We're almost halfway through game number 1. This is going to be the first major opportunity. Rizzo unchallenged, unchecked, and he couldn't quite get it past. JNAPS blasts the ball straight into Atomic.
Feels bad for Rizzo. That was, to be fair, a difficult double tap when it has to bounce that far out to come back to you before you can shoot it again. It's always going to be rough to get the clean read with the right angle. Off by a couple pixels and a tough break for G2 on what was a very difficult shot.
Corner. G2 starting to get closer and closer towards that goal. Ghost Gaming have retreated just a little bit. And they do face the best offense in North America. Huge clear. 2 players up. Chicago tries to find JNabs. Missed, looking to try and intercept. Very aggressive attempt at this. Is going to be awkward. Illusion plays the corner. No boost. And he almost bounced it out to G2. That's about as bad as that could have possibly gone for him. And we still see Ghost Gaming clinging on. Time running out here for G2.
That backboard defense really is paying dividends, and not to mention they've got a solid corner game as well, and Atomic always forcing people to think about what's about to happen next and actually throw Chicago for a loop there. Missed again. Solid backboard defense gets him out of what could have been a tough spot.
JNabs keeps the ball up but removes Rizzo from the field. That's going to mean it's Ghost Gaming's turn, and they're going to make it count if only Chicago wasn't there to stop them. Still, keeping that pressure on. Going to be up to Mist. Takes his time. You can see Atomic coming forward. Does try to drop it to him, but it's too difficult to try and make something happen. Illusion unchallenged, and it was one of those slow shots that can definitely catch you out as a defender.
I was wondering, though, G2 on that quick transition, if Chicago was going to go for the redirect or try and go off the wall. And unfortunately, going off the wall bought too much time for Ghost, and now the clock definitely a factor, and very real chance that G2 just press too hard and Ghost get a free one down the other way.
100% correct there. Teams do tend to leave themselves pretty vulnerable. There was nobody back if that shot was on target. Here's JNabs. Looks to try and do it all himself, but too close to Illusion. They have pitched a 10 up behind that backboard. There is no way a player is going to get through there. G2 need to adapt.
Ooh. Did they get him?
Touch. JNabs tried to fake out the touch. Get the player to try and lead towards the ball. Straight down to Chicago. 2 players committed. They can't let this one touch the floor now. Chicago. Over to JNabs.
Oh, he's got
JNabs up. Who's on the backboard? Chicago. It's going to be right in the middle between his 2 players. And that is game 1 to Ghost Gaming, but I don't think I've been less convinced.
The defense definitely gets it done for Ghost in this game. They got a nice early one, luckily enough, with Mist putting in a great shot. G2, though, definitely controlling a lot of that pressure later on in the game. But to be fair, a couple of those shots, very well defended. Here's the only goal in the entire series. It's just Chicago doesn't have the boost to go out and get the ball, and Mist is able to just beat him to it because Rizzo doesn't really get a really good handle on it, and it goes right into Atomic and takes a very favorable pop into the middle. So credit to me for this game goes all the way to Ghost backboard defense and not really getting hung up in the corners. It got a little dicey there at 0 seconds when people were starting to edge forward and try and cover options. They managed it just fine. So a good win for Ghost in game 1.
Absolutely. I think G2 have just been told you cannot afford to make those sort of mistakes. Ghost Gaming in defense almost all game. I think we can now say, yeah, Ghost Gaming, your defense is pretty good. But for G2, there's a couple of words that I want to float around here that maybe they could do a bit more of, because we saw how good Ghost Gaming were at defending the backboard, but they were always up there. An infield pass, maybe, would definitely help start to spread out those defensive players.
They definitely tried that a couple times right there at the end, but unfortunately early on in the game, it never really felt like they had much of a choice in terms of how they got about it. Because they'd win the ball in the midfield, and then it was just too far away from them to really get command and dump it off into the middle.
Here we are, game number 2. Only 1 goal separating the teams in the first game. Looks like there's plenty of questions to be answered. We're on target. 2 players committed. This might be a big one here for G2. Off the backboard. G2 returning exactly how they were in the previous game. All-out offense. That's a fantastic transition, though, from Illusion. Looking to try and follow up. That's another fantastic touch, though, from Chicago. Seeing both teams doing what they can to remove pressure from their own side of the field, as Mist does miss.
Smart. It was fine, though, because he saw he was under no pressure, and honestly, a touch there from Mist would have been worse than just letting that one bounce and taking the second touch, because it would have went straight into the waiting arms of G2.
Something they were praising Dapper for earlier on today about how just didn't seem to rush too much, and Ghost Gaming certainly have not rushed this series so far. Happy to grind out the victory, another double commit. I feel like I've said that far too often here.
Yeah. But they are getting the touches, which is what matters.
Down. JNabs for the double tap. Leaves it. And Rizzo finally, after over 6 minutes, has got G2 a goal.
Yeah, Chicago just gets in Illusion's face, and again, there's that touch up towards the backboard. I think Mist thought Atomic was going to have maybe a better chance at getting it, so it looked like he kind of hesitated there, because I think Mist definitely could have jumped up there and just popped that one back into the corner, but I think maybe seeing Atomic coming towards him made him think he was going to touch that ball.
Little flick up from Atomic. Now Ghost Gaming, they're, for the first time this series, starting to chase the game. Illusion also chasing down JNAP. Doesn't want to see him on his side of the field. Opportunity, if you got the flip reset, you saw the passing lane available. Minute and a half played. Atomic. Nice little ceiling. Gets the second, gets the third. I'll tell you what, if there was a fourth in there somewhere, that was guaranteed a goal. Now we transition to the other side of the field. Rizzo trying to follow up the wall, but couldn't get control of the ball. And Ghost Gaming return onto attack.
Oh, and Illusion just got such a fortunate block. He basically just gave up the ball, and G2 tipped it right into him. Atomic comes behind him. Rizzo patient on the goal line, able to make a good stop, and G2 on transition, looking for JNAPs for Rizzo, and will he get there? Middle of the goal, there's Chicago waiting for it, and there's a block. Number 3 comes through. JNAPs will turn it in, and G2 finally just send too many people for them to handle.
I was going to say exactly that. How many players is enough if you're a G2? They're a goal up, and they could not care. Send everybody forward, get the 2-goal leads. Now going to look much more comfortable in this game. But how quick was that achieved? It's very rare do we see a team transition into offense and already have all 3 players forward. Usually when we get that, it's usually sustained offense and then finally getting the mistake.
Yeah. And it's really just, that just means that everybody on the G2 half had plenty of boost to work with, so they weren't just sitting back on their own half or picking up small pads in the midfield. They're all on the same page. They're ready to go and make a big press, and a valuable thing when everyone knows what the plan is and has the ability to also execute it.
Lucian tried to dump it off to Atomic. Unfortunately, far too heavy of a first touch, and Atomic's out of boost. Gets a little bit of time for Illusion to get back into position. Chicago ends up leaving for Rizzo off the backboard. Atomic clears, but I mean, difficult for Illusion to really create much from this. He has this off the backboard, but Chicago has Rizzo to aim for. Well won, though, by Mist. Atomic looking for follow-up. Continues to go, but again, very little boost on the offensive side for Ghost. Getting up to Chicago. Lovely flick over to the other side of the field. Ghost gaming
beautiful.
now. Lovely give and go to try and get themselves to the other side of the field, but they really create from it. G2 so calm, so fast, but so calm, and Mist unable to get the ball past Rizzo.
And Mist is doing a nice job just making sure that whatever G2 is about to go for, he will be in position to handle it. Like, that's a tough play, but thankfully that time G2 not all ready to push forward and make a big touch on the uncontested backboard hit.
On target, but Atomic quite easily taking control of the ball, but that's not really what matters right now. Only a minute on the clock. Ghost Gaming really struggling to create a good opportunity for themselves. JNAPS wins the challenge. And Ghost Gaming, whenever they do go onto the offensive side of the field, it's always been whoever's on the ball seems to be low boost. Mist. Plays the ball over to the other side of the field, but Illusion's nowhere near, and that's going to waste so much time off the clock. And that's so much time that Ghost Gaming needs.
Well, but they did get a demo going back the other way, and that's a great touch from JNAPS tracking that ball all the way back. And Chicago, too, slips it behind Mist. Ghost positioning for the missed touch or just something that wasn't quite perfect, and G2 executed.
It's going to drop down. 20 seconds. JNAPS prevents the open net. Now tries to get the ball to the other side of the field. Lucian, he's popped the ball up, but there's nobody around for him. And G2 just slowly bleeding the game out. A little play underneath by Atomic. But it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. G2 respond incredibly well. Just in complete control of this game from start to finish. Can they get at least a momentum goal? No, they cannot. G2 refusing to give up anything.
Couple of decent looks, though, for Ghost, to be fair. They had a couple of nice transition passes out of their own half. It was the continuation that was the problem. They never really got good command of the ball on a couple of those chances up the other way, and G2 were able to rally back. And the offense definitely forcing Ghost into a lot more precarious scenarios here in Game 2. You can see, 6, 8, 11 shots for G2 to the 7 of Ghost. So it's definitely not a completely one-sided affair, but G2 definitely handling the pressure from Ghost a lot easier. I think the best chance for Ghost that game was Atomic's dribble that he kind of just stuck to that backboard and was hoping to get that last touch in. I think that might have been Ghost Gaming's best chance. And even that was a stretch of one.
It's so annoying as well when you've got to try and deal with G2's offense, because as we mentioned, they are so happy to send just the house towards your net. And if you're going to win it, you almost have to win a challenge, not just winning it slightly. You have to win it clean. The ball has to bounce to safety from it. And that's so difficult to do against these G2 players.
It's very hard, especially when you've got, because the whole reason they picked up Chicago a couple of years ago at this point was Chicago's midfield defense is so strong. He's a great challenge-based player and can get the ball going the other way. Jnaps in his own right is a fantastic defender and is very tough to just get the ball through of his own right. And Rizzo is a solid third man in his own right and can at least buy plenty of time for those guys to get back. So all three of the players on G2, some studs in the challenge department. And it's tough because you're absolutely right. If you want the ball from G2, you've got to go through basically the biggest brick wall there is in North America at the moment.
It's a 100 IQ or 200 IQ play, really. It's just, okay, let's take a whole bunch of players that are very good at challenging midfield. Let's give them the idea of, how about not midfield, the other side of the field entirely as we look for the triple touch. And Atomic couldn't get the ball to drop for him.
A little too far under the ball, hit it straight instead of getting on top of it, and can't find that third touch. Missed, will drill one into the middle, and Chicago on the goal line. And looking for Atomic, and what a selfless pass from Aleutian.
Yeah, just very round after round offense from Aleutian. Just dumps that to Atomic, and if you're G2, you're not doing anything about that one apart from watching it enter your net. 1-0 to Ghost Gaming. Sublime offense on their side.
Great press. And absolutely, if you're the two players on that G2 goal line, you are 100% thinking that ball's coming right towards you. And as soon as your camera angle has to pan left to right, you are dead.
This question as well, how often do we see Ghost players that far up, ready for those sort of plays? This time around, able to get it done. Aleutian now to the far corner. Popped up. Jnaps to take over. Unfortunately for him, no one to really pass to. Instead, looking to try and just transition the ball. G2. Not really winning these challenges all of a sudden. This entire game going Ghost's way. Aleutian buying a bit of time with the drop down. Jnaps, that's going to be an awkward one. Forces Rizzo out. Missed with the pre-jump, and he will not be anywhere near that ball.
You could see Rizzo, though, as soon as that ball popped into the middle from Jnaps, instantly jumped because he knew. You said it. That's not exactly the world's greatest touch. It's kind of out into no man's land, out in front of your goal. And I think Mist had the right idea jumping at that one from forever away. Because, you know, if he makes the right read and gets a big block, G2 are going to be stuck.
Popped up. You can see Jnaps is the passing option. Floats it over to Rizzo. Let's drop down again to Chicago. Everyone involved over to Jnaps. And if only that was on target. 5 separate passes. And we didn't get a shot worthy of the play.
Oh, there's another one. Do they have 3? Not quite. Jnaps again having to stretch over a defender to try and make that shot. And again, you can see G2, whenever that backboard is uncontested, it gets real scary for Ghost. And they're fortunate Jnaps didn't put that one in the top corner.
Here's Chicago. Looks at the far side. So looking for the backboard, but instead Aleutian swipes it off the top of his car. You see Atomic waiting around, and he will win the ball. That backboard just means half volley for G2. Travel the entire length of the pitch. You can see them just trying to swarm around this ball, but another challenge win. Blast the ball into the orange side of the field. This is fantastic for Ghost Gaming. It means that it doesn't let G2 set up what they want to set up.
Ooh, and there's a ball right into the middle. Nobody in position for G2, and now they got to get ground, and Ghost might be able to make something of this. Atomic so quick will put the pressure on, and they're going to steal the boosts.
Chicago can't quite get there in time. Missed finding angles where there are none. Good drop down. Aleutian final player back, and no pressure on him from G2. Just a minute and a half left now. G2, they've been in this position where they've been trailing by a goal heading into the last few stages of the game. couldn't get it done last time around. Atomic. Well, the second touch, and he couldn't quite get there. But boost seems to be a premium across the entire field.
Yeah, absolutely. That speed of Atomic on defense, so valuable. Got just a piece, and that is going to buy the time for Mist to get back. Oh, Atomic is making some big touches on his own half in this game.
But G2 are setting up well now. You get the feeling that it's almost a matter of time. Ghost Gaming have got to keep winning these plays, and it's stuff like that from Illusion that will do exactly that. G2 have to reset the entire play now, and Atomic just stole boost. Slow them down even more. Illusion. Determined to do anything.
There's another
bumping, hitting, even pulling the hair if they have to. Ghost Gaming scrappy, but it's working. Another demo. Here we go, Chicago. Off the wall. Wants a second touch, he gets it. Does lose his car for the trouble, though. Only half a minute left on the clock. Chicago already up. Illusion pounces on him from the far side. Now back into the middle.
Pass.
Just can't quite find anything right now. Often find Ghost Gaming trying to travel backwards with their aerials, but it's working out just fine each and every time. Drop up. Here's JNAPS! Into the top corner!
Chicago, beautiful setup here. He realizes no one from Ghost up, and instead of going towards the backboard and let Illusion get a chance at it first, he just pops it straight up, and JNAPS will just dive at it because they need to. And JNAPS will deliver a big equalizer.
Well, we said it had to be perfect from Ghost Gaming. The one touch, the slight mistouch from Atomic that popped the ball. And G2 give them absolutely no quarter. Overtime, and this series is getting closer and closer to becoming a banger.
Brutal game for Ghost. You thought maybe they were definitely diving and trying to take away the support options, and now they might be in trouble.
Ghost Gaming, they've been on the defensive side. They've got to try and now switch that up. That is a fantastic play. Mist goes the whole way with race. He won't get the goal from this one, but how much does that give to Ghost? Now they can try and restock on boost.
Oh, they can definitely restock on boost, but that pop right into the middle is basically a full reset for both teams, especially with Rizzo punching that into the Ghost corner. I'm surprised to see Atomic take that and just rip that down the pitch. I figured he, out of anyone on Ghost, would be the one to just bring that down and take a challenge or go for a dribble.
Well, Mist didn't look too comfortable with that play to start off with, but he made something of it. Both teams just relying on the strategy of get as many touches as possible, make it unreadable for the opposing team, and then take your open shot. Here's Chicago. Can he set one up for himself? Mist ends up not making contact with the backboard, and that's straight across the face of goal. And I know G2 can be quite confident on offense, but there's no way they were going to be confident enough for that.
Yeah, they definitely weren't expecting a huge misplay from Ghost Gaming right in front of their goal line, so it's the right move to back off. And a huge challenge from Illusion. Chicago needs to buy time, and that's awkward for G2. They got to stare at this one, and he'll get it. Mist turns it into the lower right-hand side.
Like a cannon, straight into the back of the net. Mist gives them no chance. What a hit that is. Just out of the way of JNAPS, who has got very little range of motion where he is. As soon as he stops moving, it removes a lot of his options. Ghost Gaming are now one win away from leaving us with 0 teams that are undefeated.
And they might have, you know, it wasn't pretty, but you're 100% correct. It worked. A lot of the physicality wasn't on that first player attacking the ball. It's taking away that support option from G2 and limiting their ability to find the follow-up touch. And that's buying Ghost enough time to get the ball out of dangerous spots on defense. Atomic, the speed to get up there and stop that first hit from G2 is very valuable in a couple of situations. And apart from that, right at the end, it was just catching G2 on rotation as JNAPS came into the net, and then that ball was uncontested off the backboard, and JNAPS knew he's just going to have to take the shot. And it came down to does Mist execute. He picked the right spot.
You see, you know that that game was good because I'm still smiling, but I'm also really upset that the passing play from G2 didn't go in earlier on. That was so good. How dare that not go in?
You know, it's how it goes, man. It was the one where JNAPS put it off the top right? It was just off the corner. Yeah.
5-way passing play.
You hate to see it. And then, and that's one they'll remember. They'll be like, guys, we weren't perfect, and now we're down 2-1.
If anything, I think that's what caused that game to be. I think that's what caused the game to become so messy, because it was just, okay, good passing plays don't work. Let's just throw fists. Here we go, game 4. G2 defending their unbeaten record. They've got to win 2 in a row to do it.
And JNaps was really trying to get very technical with that shot, looking to float one into that back post over the head of the near post guy. It's a tough angle to hit from that opposite corner, but if anyone can hit it, he definitely can.
Go Chicago. That is a lovely touch, but Aleutian reads the play well. A good challenge. Here's what G2 exactly where they want to be, but that catch from Mist just... We've seen G2, their offense thrives on chaos. When Mist just controls the ball like that, there is no chaos to be found.
And what makes it so impressive is he had to dodge the demo before he could really control that ball, and that's what makes G2's offense tick, is getting the disruption. You're absolutely right. It's the thriving in the chaos, and Mist able to get out of the way of that demo and still make the clean catch and get it out of danger is so good for Ghost.
Pass over to JNaps.
Oh, they got him.
Tried to be fancy about it, and it just bounces off the post. What is this series right now?
I thought they got him. Host says otherwise.
I mean, JNaps had many plans in his head for that ball, and before you could even blink, it was almost in his net. Aleutian tries to swipe at JNaps again, couldn't quite find the net. This is proper knockdown, drag-out Rocket League achieves, and I am loving it.
Oh, it's so tough. It's just I think you're definitely right about the throwing the fists. As look at Ghost, they're just sending it, and Aleutian, how do you beat Chicago one-on-one? And I think he just went for the delay touch. Didn't want to get too fancy and allow a quick counterattack. I think clearer heads prevailed for Ghost right there, as JNaps just misses a double tap.
Both teams hitting the woodwork so far. Neither able to find the goal. Ghost Gaming making such a statement for their season. Here comes Aleutian, but run out of boost. Chicago's first touch is so heavy that it means that Ghost can try and make something of it. And as far as the midfield, G2 trying to escape now. That touch from JNaps could very well do it. I want to try and follow up though. It does give G2 quite a bit of space.
Oh, Atomic. He's such a problem for G2 right now. He's just getting in the face, forcing that strong first touch from G2, or at least taking away that follow-up touch. He's just been such an issue to deal with on the defensive half for Ghost that G2, I don't think they really have an answer for him. He's just so fast.
Aleutian wins clean. It's only on Rizzo. Aleutian flip reset, couldn't make contact. Now JNaps tries to pop the ball up. He's done that quite often though. It's becoming quite readable for Ghost Gaming. Aleutian is midfield. I think everyone sees it, but can anyone do anything about it? Yes, they can, and Chicago resorts to blasting the ball at Mist. Over the top. This could be G2's chance, but Aleutian there in time.
Oh, he missed.
And a miss from JNaps forces them to play all the way back. G2 had the setup, and they let it slip.
Ooh, and Rizzo is forced to tip that ball into the corner, and Ghost make a possession out of this.
Oh, Rizzo also misses on target! Ghost Gaming a minute and a half away from victory.
G2 beats one, but there's Mist. I said it back at the start of the series. He's going to have to fill the gaps. Picks apart where Chicago's ball is going to go. Catches Rizzo, says, can you reach it in time off the backboard? Cannot. Nails the second touch and goes with a lead.
And what's so impressive is Ghost are playing G2's game. This is very rare that we've seen someone try and step to this, and they are doing a fantastic job of it. Just over a minute left. G2 need to find a goal. See it drop down. Missed. He wins the ball. Will there be anyone there? Rizzo can't make it. 2-0.
Rizzo can't make it because JNaps just straight whiffs the ball, and Chicago tries to cover up, and Rizzo's expecting to have time to go grab boost in the opposite corner. Chicago doesn't get a piece of it, and then that's all she wrote.
So now 2 needed in a minute. G2's task just keeps getting more and more difficult. And even if they do come back and end up winning this one, they've got to win another one on top of that. Here's Illusion. No one's already passed two. I don't think that's going to be too much of a worry with time ticking away. Here's Atomic. Can he seal the deal? Ends up just flopping off his car to the other side of the field. You see Ghost Gaming blasting every ball as high as they can possibly get it. It's the slower way to play, and it's the correct way to play given the situation.
Yep. Keep it up. Force it into that scenario where it's much tougher to... Oh, you're kidding. I thought that was an own goal. But keeping the ball high makes it near impossible for the defense to be able to bring the ball down, trap it, and really force possession in their favor. And it's the right way to kill the clock.
That clock is certainly ticking down. 5 seconds remaining. Ghost Gaming with a statement victory to their resume as Rizzo puts one more in, and it was a great goal at that, but it will not be enough. Ladies and gentlemen, we have no more undefeated teams in the RLCS as Ghost Gaming will take down G2.
Well deserved. Missed with the big put away goal. I thought maybe Rizzo gave him, half a second for a kickoff or something.